DeconerGolf.com. Today we're going to define and help you get rid of the over-the-top move. Over-the-top, if we were to define that, what we're talking about today is over-the-top in the bad way, in extreme enough cases that it's going to cause problems. Over-the-top, if we think of, say, the backswing plane is on this angle and the forward swing plane's on this angle. Where that comes from is the upper body spins out a little bit too early, the shoulders are involved, and the club goes this way. And if it's enough to cause the club to, in obvious or in measurably what we would consider large degrees, the club getting outside the target line and working across it at impact, we're going to have a problem. Now, before we get into the fix, I want to talk just for a moment here about where does this come from? Why does somebody decide to do this? And having taught golf for over 20 years, I never see a beginner do this. I never see a beginner pick up a golf club and go this way. They have to learn that. They have to learn that because the ball's going to the right, it makes sense for them to swing the club to the left. If something makes sense as a fix in golf, if intellectually you say, okay, the ball's doing this, so I'm going to do this to counter it, be very careful. In a lot of cases, and we'll talk about this more in other videos, in a lot of cases what intellectually makes sense to fix a ball flight problem a lot of times makes it worse. So, why does somebody develop this habit? They develop the habit because the club face is open. If the club face is open, the ball's going to start to the right. In order to fix that, intellectually they say, okay, well, the ball's going to go to the right, I'm going to swing the club more to the left to counter that. And if I blend the right amount of over the top with open club face, yes, I can kind of squeeze something out there that's relatively straight. It's not very powerful, it's not going to be consistent, but on occasion we can do that. So the over the top is a learned pattern to try to fix something else. What we're trying to fix, or what we need to fix first, is the club face. Last week I put up a video on squaring the club face, so if this sounds like you might want to go back, watch that first. We always take care of the club face first, and if we can get the club face square, we can then get the reward for that when we get rid of the over-the-top move. In order to get rid of over-the-top, the fastest way that I found to fix this is think about the lead shoulder. From the top of the swing, I want you to keep that lead shoulder stationary as the club starts down. Another way to say it would be turn your back to the target, hold your back to the target as the club's coming towards the ball. It's going to, this isn't going to make sense when you try this. When you're sitting at home watching this and you're going, okay, he wants me to do this. Well, how's the club going to get to the ball? It's going to feel very strange. What you're going to find out is you're going to feel like that shoulder's going to stay there for an eternity. It's actually only going to stay there for a moment. But that moment is long enough to allow this to happen. And if the club comes from inside, comes down here, now we've gotten rid of the over the top. As long as the club face is going to be square enough to support that move, we get rid of the slice, we start hitting more solid shots with a lot more energy going into the golf ball. We pick up distance, we gain a lot of accuracy. Again, from the top of the swing, I want you to feel like you're going to hold that shoulder there for a moment. If that doesn't work, feel like you're going to hold it there for an eternity. And what we'll see is, if it stays there just for a second, milliseconds actually, the club's not going to come over the top, it's going to work more from the inside. As long as the club face is square, you get rewarded for both of those. Thanks a lot, try that at home.